Devil Hunters, welcome to Chainsaw Man 108, and without wasting any time, who is this Horseman? Is it the Death Devil? Is it the Hunger Devil? I can also assume the wild card can also be Nyota, but the age difference just doesn't seem to work out here. So it's probably safe to predict it's either Famine or Death. One can easily say how the Death Devil would have the ability to revive and kill people like we saw here, but a part of me feels like if I were to rank all four of the Horsemen, Control, War, Hunger, Death, that feels like the true final boss, so to speak, yeah? So to reveal the Death Devil third over the Hunger Devil narratively seems a bit off to me. Interestingly enough, however, the other burning question you must ask as well, what the hell is the Hunger Devil going to have ability-wise with an arsenal of weapons and attack? But it would be safe to assume that the Famine Devil can make things as skinny or as huge as she wants them to be. Look at Yoku here. She definitely looks more plump and lively as ever, but hey, your guess is as good as mine. So if I had to lean on which Apocalypse member this was going to be, it's going to be Famine. For the reason that if you pay attention to the woman's earrings, and also shout out to Fujimoto for making all these Apocalypse badass women so far, the earrings resemble these scales, which look pretty similar to what the Famine Horseman is depicted to rock with its design. I'm really curious to see what everyone thinks in the comments down below, but while we are on this topic, let's talk about the little sister comment this new Horseman said to Asa. Now hear me out, Fujimoto loves his dark comedy, and having the War Devil act like a brat in relation to Asa when they bicker back and forth now actually seems like an actual trait the War Devil herself has, and probably reinforces the idea of why she seems insecure from time to time. Something like a younger sibling would naturally have. If anything, this is why she wants to kill Chainsaw Man. She wants her powers back, but to also show that she herself is worthy compared to the other Horsemen. I mean, we know what Makima brought to the table. We're seeing what this new Horseman is bringing to the table, and I can't imagine what the Death Horseman is gonna bring to the table when that person is introduced. I really like this characterization of the War Devil being a brat and even somewhat insecure about her abilities and powers because she's lost them while facing Chainsaw Man, and she wants to go on this mission to defeat Chainsaw Man on her own to prove her worth. So speaking of the War Devil, we actually gain more insight in this chapter on how her abilities really work. We know that she can make weapons out of people she defeats, but Yoru informs Asa if you touch something that belongs to you and call its name, that will also become a weapon. Asa is seen touching her clothes, in which I thought she was just pausing herself because of the situation she was in, believing in herself and the heart of the cards, but no, she literally rips off her clothes and says super strong uniform sword. Now yes, we do get some subtle eye candy with Asa not really wearing much of anything now, but the point I'm trying to get is that Asa's sword was powerful enough to slice and mince the Justice Devil to many pieces, and she didn't even connect her attack successfully. The Justice Devil literally flicked it away. So let's break this down. The War Devil was even caught off mentioning how the sword she has always made were average, most likely because the War Devil doesn't really have any strong bond or ties to the things that she eliminates. Whereas Asa goes on to saying that the uniform was the uniform her mother got her before she died. So there's obviously some strong emotional attachment and bond with it. The stronger the bond, the more powerful the weapon will become. Which is why Yoru wanted Asa to develop a longer lasting friendship with Yoku, because when she would inevitably kill her, the hypothetical weapon of Yoku should theoretically be stronger to the random enemies or people the War Devil winds up killing, like the teacher in the beginning of part 2. Now, with all that being said, the craziest part about the uniform sword is that by simply touching it, it one-shot the entire Justice Devil to pieces. The potential of the War Devil's strength going forward is going to be very dangerous for Chainsaw Man and quite honestly any devils confronting Asa and Yoru. Now, Devil Hunters, I do have a confession. Yoku isn't the Parasite Devil, but indeed the Justice Devil. Fujimoto is obviously a fan of the Parasite anime or manga, and personally, I just finished watching it myself. It's an 8 out of 10. It's worth a watch. But after seeing the Chainsaw Man anime opening referencing all these love letters and homages to Fujimoto and the things he adores, the more I thought about it, this whole reenactment of what I assumed was the Parasite Devil Devil was eerily similar to a Parasite from the Parasite anime, reenacting the fight sequence of Shinichi. I believe that's his name. So yes, I will take that big fat L to the chest and own it. And it looks like we're receiving part 2 manga chapters weekly, not bi-weekly like we originally had been getting, to coincide with the anime that also comes out on Tuesdays. So to quickly sum up chapter 107, Yoku versus the War Devil looked great. The War Devil, despite laying out all these traps around the school, still couldn't overpower the Justice Devil, and the Devil Hunter Club has some potential characters that could make a reappearance down the line. Yoru letting Asa take over her body, which transitioned into what we got in chapter 108, was extraordinary. And one of the big takeaways in chapter 108 is the fact that Asa can now use the War Devil's abilities, which is important going forward because we know her character is anxious and tidy, and if Asa had to take care of something, she can technically do it and make weapons herself. Oh, and just a random thought, where the hell is Denji in all of this? That school is a wreck right now, so if Denji comedically skipped class for whatever reason, I would think that's pretty funny, but I will also find it very jarring if Denji doesn't show up in the next chapter to confront what is exactly happening with the school right now. And I guess it isn't too surprising, but it does break my heart a little bit that Yoru is basically gone. And I mean, she may be a weapon for Asa down the line, and that's probably where it's going to go, but Chainsaw Man Part 2, we need more of an ensemble cast, don't you think? I feel like, what, we're 10 chapters into this, and 10 chapters into Part 1 of Chainsaw Man, we already had an ensemble characters. We really don't have that much to work with so far in Part 2, so I hope that is slowly rectified, but I do trust in Fujimoto.